What's up, internet basketball junkies? In today's video, it's another one in our drill series. Before diving in, shout out to Dr. Dish. Dr. Dish shooting machines accelerate player performance and provide innovative game-like workouts. And shout out to Fast Model Sports, the #1 software programs for high school coaches. I use Fast Draw for all the diagrams you see in my videos. Now let's dive into today's drill. These two drills we're going to see on film today focus on teaching striding. This is something I think is very undertaught. To a certain degree, being athletic is only an advantage if you understand how to use the athleticism. A lot of players naturally understand how to use their athleticism, but these two drills are ways to help unlock athleticism. The drills don't create the athleticism. They help players figure out how to become more comfortable using the athleticism they have. So the first drill we are looking at now is called stride out layups. I'm a big believer in this drill. We usually set out a cone maybe 6 or 8 feet past the three-point line. Players sprint from the baseline to touch the cone, changing directions and then beginning a sprint towards the basket. On the way to the basket, we have a coach feed them a chest pass. The player is now trying to catch the ball and finish using no dribble. So players are trying to time up their steps to be able to stretch out 2 steps as much as possible. We taught them to take 2 one-foot jumps in an attempt to lengthen out the strides as much as possible. I love the athleticism element of this drill, but what I really like about this drill is that the players can't control which foot or where they are jumping off of. So the end result is players trying to finish off different feet and from different locations on the court. It is the exact opposite of layup line layups, which are very controlled and very replicatable. These finishes vary greatly and are very challenging. Players must have great concentration and body control on their finish, and obviously, the better their striding is, the closer they will be to the basket to figure things out. The better the players get at their striding, the more the coaches can challenge them with their passing. They can pass the ball to them farther out and try to pass it to them in more challenging locations, a little bit high, a little bit low, or a little bit behind them. Passing the ball to the players around the three-point line is the farthest we stretch them out. We've had some players get really good at this skill, and I don't believe it is just a drill for drill's sake. It translates into games as players finish on fast breaks and stretch out their drives to the basket. Now we are on to the next drill. We call this drill Euro striding. It follows a lot of the same principles as stride out layups, but we begin to incorporate changing directions during our striding. Once we learn to lengthen out our strides, we want to be able to use the longer strides on paths to the basket that aren't always straight. I think smaller lateral shifts are very prominent in basketball, not just highlight-worthy Euro step moves where an offensive player goes completely around a defender. I think these smaller lateral shifts are happening all the time in this sport of basketball. They just aren't as noticeable as the typical Euro step highlight. So in Euro striding, we've eliminated having to catch the ball and figure out the strides on the fly and replaced it by using landmarks on the court that force the players to change direction to get close to the rim. This was a challenge to the players, not to only finish the layup, but to try to attempt to get as close to the basket as possible to finish the layup. When coming in at this angle you are seeing on film now, it's important the players do not round their approach to the basket. You want them approaching on a straight line and then changing direction on the step to get to the basket. If you watch closely, you'll see some of the players running their approach so that it makes their angle less challenging and less severe and makes it easier for them to do more normal layups than to be stretched out to get to the rim. Now we are changing court landmarks to use the elbows as the spot where we will make our change of direction. It's a little further out, but the angle isn't quite as severe. In Euro striding, it's important to get reps on both sides so players can get used to jumping off of each foot. Most players have a dominant leg, so getting them more comfortable jumping off their non-dominant leg can be very impactful for the athletic development of the player. Like the stride out layups drill, this drill really challenges the player on their finishes, mostly from the angle standpoint. In this drill, they aren't figuring out which hand to finish with, but they are finishing consistently at awkward angles and from awkward distances. There is no doubt that the more reps players get at awkward angles and from awkward distances, the more comfortable they will get finishing in those positions. Everyone knows this, but coaches don't really force players into reps like this from my experience. In both of these drills, we talk about trying to limit the offensive player from swinging the ball from side to side. The thinking is that it forces more body control and makes the players conscious of keeping the ball protected from where the defense would be. I don't see them doing a very good job of not swinging the ball in front of their body in these clips, but it was something to think about if you're trying to implement these drills. Alright, Internet Basketball Junkies, as we wrap up this video, there's a few things I need from you. If you're liking this content, give this video a like and share it with a friend. That's the best thing that you can do to help this channel, is share the content. 2, make sure you're hitting the bell to get notifications on future videos. 3, check and double check to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And 4, click the link in the description to my Sellfy store. I have detailed basketball coaching content for sale, including a guide to the European ball screen offense, a guide to a strength and conditioning program for high school coaches, a guide to the circle motion offense, a half-court deny and disrupt man-to-man defensive system, and my personal favorite document that I've written, the Youth Basketball Curriculum, which is my spin on over 1,000 pages of reading I did putting together a plan to progress basketball players from first grade all the way until they graduate high school with age-appropriate skills, drills, and thoughts for coaches at each stage of development. All that and more. Go visit my store. The link is in the description. Shout out to Fast Model Sports, the #1 coaching tools in basketball. Fast Draw Play Diagramming and Fast Scout Scouting Report software can take your coaching and game planning to the next level. Dr. Dish Basketball is accelerating player performance with the most innovative game-like training solution available, allowing coaches and players to get better faster than ever before. By providing the most usable and advanced shooting machines, on-demand workouts, multiplayer stat tracking, and instant analytics, Dr. Dish Basketball has become the preferred source for basketball training with progressive coaches and players. If you need any help with basketball, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. You can find my email at the beginning or the end of this video, as well as in the description of this video. Thanks for breaking down this drill with me.